Hello students, today we will discuss about dynamic memory allocation in C++. So let me recall C language. In C you have studied about dynamic memory allocation. So why we were using dynamic memory allocation technique? So memory allocation technique are of two types, static memory allocation and dynamic memory. So what is a static memory allocation? When the memory is allocated at compile time is known as static memory allocation. And what is dynamic memory allocation? When the memory is allocated at runtime is known as dynamic memory allocation. So in static memory allocation, you generally face two kinds of problems. This problem is memory shortage and memory wastage. How? So let's suppose I have to accept the name of a person and I have taken an array of 20 size. And let's suppose the name of person is more than 20 characters at runtime. Then memory shortage problem will introduce. And let's suppose the name of person is just 4 characters like Ajay, Amit, Kapil. Then the memory wastage problem got introduced. Why this happens? Because in array, we all know defining size is mandatory. So the memory is allocated at compile time and the memory got wasted or shortage at runtime. To overcome this problem, we use dynamic memory allocation technique, and in C, we were using malloc and calloc function for this. But in C++, dynamic memory allocation is much easier in comparison of C. C++ has given us two operators, new and delete. New is used for dynamic memory allocation and delete is used to delete the dynamically allocated memory after the use of your program, or when the memory is unused, or you can say when you come out of the program and you want to destroy the memory allocated by new. So let's see. So dynamic memory allocation in C++. Suppose you want to put a toy in a box, but you only have an approximate idea of its size. For that, you would require a box whose size is equal to the approximate size of the toy. We face a similar situation. So what is this example want to say? This example want to say might be your toy is smaller than your box, or might be your toy is bigger than your box. So better when you are purchasing the toy on the same time you are purchasing the box. We face a similar situation in C++ when we want to input a sentence as an array of character but are not sure about the number of character in the array. I have taken the same example in the previous slide. Now while declaring the character array, we are specifying size smaller than the size of the input string, then we will get an error because the space in memory allocated to the array is lesser than the size of the input string. This is the same case as trying to fit a big toy in a smaller box. If we specify its size much larger than the size of input string, then unnecessarily consuming more memory even when it is not required. This is like putting a small toy in a large box. In the above case, we don't have idea about the size of array until the compile time, when computer compile the code and the string is input by the user. In such case, C++ has given us an operator, new operator. But before going to the new operator, let's have a look at two parts in which our memory is divided. This part as stack and heap. What is a stack? Memory from a stack is used by all the members which are declared inside the function, means whatever you have declared local. And heap is used at runtime. So whatever the memory allocated at compile time is used inside a stack, and whatever the memory used at runtime is used inside heap. So there are two memory chunks that we are using for our program, that is stack and heap. Stack is used at compile time and heap is used to store the memory allocated at runtime. So in C++, new operator is used to allocate memory at runtime. The new operator is used to allocate memory at runtime, and the memory is always allocated in bytes. So how to allocate the memory dynamically? That's very simple, for which you are going to allocate the memory, the data type, then pointer variable equals to new, and then data type. So if you want to allocate memory for integer, you need to use int pointer ptr equals to new int. That's simple. Memory will be allocated at compile time, and this memory will consume heap instead of stack. By writing new int, we allocated to the space in the memory required for an integer. Then we assign the address of that memory to an integer pointer ptr. So value at ptr you are putting 4. Thus we allocated that memory space in the memory that would require by an int that assign the address of that memory to a pointer ptr, and memory value is 4. When we dynamically allocate memory to a variable, we use heap memory, as I said you. Then you can initialize it at the time of declaration also, at the time of dynamically memory allocation also. So int pointer ptr new int 4. So here that ptr will contain the address of the memory where value 4 is stored. So you can use both of the way, either you can use small bracket or you can use curly braces. So thus you are initializing the value at the same time of memory allocation. You can initialize it later also, you can take the value from the user also. So let's take a very simple example. Either you can use using namespace std, or I have written here std colon cout. Both is same. So I have allocated memory dynamically and then taken the value 4. You can take it from user also, and then displaying it. Displaying it, it will show you value at ptr, that is 4. You can dynamically allocate an array also. The main use of concept of dynamic memory allocation is for allocating array. Like C language, in C you are also allocating arrays. So if you are taking another, I'm taking the same example. If you are taking array 30, name 30, and again shortage wastage problem will come. So you can initialize it dynamically also. So character pointer variable name equals to new character and then length. This length you can take it from the user also. You can initialize it by your own, it's your choice, but you can give a message to the user, now enter your length, then you can accept the length, and then you can dynamically allocate the memory, and this will allocate memory whatever you will say to the runtime. If you will say 10, it will allocate memory 10 bytes. If you will say 20, it will allocate memory 20 bytes, and so on. So let's take an example. In this given example, you will see I have taken the length from the user. I want to accept some marks from the user and want to find the sum of all marks. So I have taken the length from the user, then dynamically allocated memory. Very simple to C language. I have accepted the value in array. Then I have sum all the marks by using another for loop, then displayed it. And you are looking, I have at the runtime, enter the length of the group. I have given 4. Then I have entered 4 marks. That all 4 marks is sum by second for loop in the given program, and the result is displayed. Excuse me. Delete operator. Now, suppose we allocate some memory to a variable dynamically, and then we realize that the variable is not needed anymore in the program. In that case, we need to free the memory which has assigned to that variable. For that, we use delete operator like free operator in C language. So while you were allocating memory by using malloc function, you use free function, and in C++, new and delete are operator. So if you have dynamically allocated by using new operator, you can use the delete operator to delete it. What is the syntax of delete operator? Delete and then pointer variable name. So delete ptr. So let's suppose ptr. For ptr, I have dynamically allocated the memory. So delete with delete and then ptr. The memory allocated for ptr has been removed. So that's very simple example here. I have taken a pointer, dynamically allocated memory for integer, and then I have assigned it 4. Then I have deleted that pointer. Delete ptr. That's simple. It will delete. If you want to delete an array, take care. You need to use parenthesis. Array delete, then parenthesis, then pointer PTR. You do not need to specify the size, but giving parenthesis is mandatory. So same example, what we have taken to accept the value from the user, accept the marks of 4 students. Here I want to deallocate the memory allocated for marks. So I have used second last line, you can see delete and then name of pointer, that was marks. So delete is parenthesis, then marks, the dynamic allocated memory will get deleted. Now, our main concern was how to dynamically allocate memory for the object. Don't worry, this is very similar to like integer, float, character. We can also dynamically allocate object. As we know that constructor is a member function of a class which is called whenever a new object is created of that class. It is used to initialize that object. Destructor is also a class member function which is called whenever the object goes out of the scope, that we have detailed studied in the last sessions. Destructor is also used to release the memory assigned to the object. It is called in these conditions. When the destructor called? When a local variable goes out of the scope. For a global object, operator is applied to the pointer to the object of that class. We assign use pointers while dynamically allocating memory for the object. So let's take an example. I have dynamically created 4 objects. Here it is a constructor and destructor is given. So you are looking, A is a constructor and tilde A is a destructor. Then A pointer, because data type pointer I need to use, an object belongs to class, so that's why I have used A pointer, capital A pointer. Then I have created object A equals to new int A, and then I have given it a size 4. So I want to create 4 objects, and then I have deleted it. So let's see what will be the output. So 4 object is created, 4 time constructor will be called, and when you will goes out of the program, 4 time destructor will be called. So you are seeing 4 time constructor, 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 and when you are coming out from the program, 4 time destructor is called destructor, 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 destructor. Look, you can allocate memory statically also for the object, but the difference is what? When you are allocating memory statically, that is going in a stack, and when you are allocating memory dynamically, that is going in heap. Second thing, when you are allocating memory statically, memory is allocated at compile time, and when you are allocating memory dynamically, memory is allocated at runtime. Now, next thing, pointer to object. Here I want to ask a question. Let's suppose I have created a class student. Please listen me carefully. I have created a class student. Now, in this student class, I have taken 2 members, int roll, int age. I have created a function void get, using which I have accepted roll number and age, and I have displayed a function. I have created a display function using which I am displaying roll number and age. Now inside main function, I have created 3 objects A1, A2, A3. Memory is allocated for A1, A2, A3. When you have called A1.get, whatever the value you have taken, that value will go to the memory of A1. When you have called A2.get, whatever the value you have taken, that will go to the memory of A2. And when you will call A3.get, whatever the value you will take, that will go to the memory of A3. Again, when you will call A1.display, it will take the value from the memory of A1 and display it. Same, when you will call A2.display, it will take the value from the A2 memory location and it will get displayed. And when you will call A3.display, it will take value from A3 and then it will get displayed. Now tell me how get and display method is going to know that I have to take the value from the memory of A1 or A2 or A3. You will say I have called by using A1.get or A1.display. But I am still not understanding how that get method knows that you are calling with A1, then he has to go at the memory of A1. Definitely something is behind working which is giving the address of A1 to that method. to that function get or display when you are calling it by using a1. Something is behind the program which is giving the address of a2 to get and display method while you are calling this get and display method by using a2. And something is behind this program which is giving the address of a3 to that get and display method while you are calling that get and display method by using a3 dot get or a3 dot display. So what is this something? This is a pointer known as this pointer. So this pointer is working behind your screen. So what is this pointer? The pointer which points to the address of object is called pointers to object, and C++ uses a pointer, this pointer. This is a pointer which holds the address of current object from which member function is called. So this is an implicit parameter. You do not need to write. If you want to write, you can write. So let's see example. You can write x equals to a. Actually, when you write x equals to a in the setx method you are looking, I have write this arrow x equals to a. Actually, what is this? When you have called obj1 dot setx and pass 10, that this pointer is containing the address of obj1. When you have called obj2 dot setx 30, that this pointer will contain the address of obj2, and either you are writing it or not, this arrow that is by default taken by the C++ language. So definitely the address of obj2 is required to that setx method, because how it is going to know that I have to put that value onto the memory of obj2, or how I have to put the value of obj1 on the memory of obj1. Definitely somebody is giving the address of this obj1 and obj2 to setx method, and this is nothing but this pointer. So this pointer contains the address of the current object which is calling the member function. So that is about this pointer. In any program what you have written till now, you can use this pointer. So thank you very much for the today's session. I request again all of you that please compile and run all the programs, do some practices. Thank you.